from a comedian in a cape to a teen vampire as the Dark Knight. Some casting choices have sparked serious fan outrage. But what happens when the most hated decisions and legendary performances? Today, we're breaking down 10 unexpected casting choices that didn't just work. They changed movies forever.
Prepare to be amazed as I present to you.
Coming in at number 10 is Timothée Chalamet as Willy Wonka. When the star of heavy dramas like Dune and Call Me By Your Name was announced as the world's most famous chocolatier, a lot of people scratched their heads. The role had been defined by two iconic and wildly different performances from Gene Wilder and Johnny Depp. Chalamet, known for his brooding intensity, seemed like a weird fit for a whimsical musical about Wonka's origins. Fans were skeptical. Could this dramatic actor really capture the character's magical, larger-than-life energy? Well, the answer was a huge yes. Chalamet brought a youthful charm and heartfelt optimism to the role that was all his own, setting his performance apart from the others. Wonka became a global sensation, delighting audiences and critics. It soared at the box office, grossing a sweet $634 million worldwide, and proving that a fresh take on a classic character can be a recipe for success. At number 9, we have a choice that made everyone rethink one of comedy's biggest stars, Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love. By 2002, Sandler had built an empire playing goofy man-children in hits like Happy Gilmore and Little Nicky. So, when the celebrated director Paul Thomas Anderson cast him in a deeply anxious romantic drama, it felt like a massive creative gamble. The role of Barry Egan, a lonely man with crippling social anxiety and bursts of explosive rage, was a world away from the Sandler's usual shtick. Skeptics wondered if the comedian could pull off such a tricky, emotional performance. Anderson, however, saw the simmering anger and vulnerability hidden in Sandler's comedy and wrote the part just for him. The result was a career-defining performance that absolutely floored critics. Sandler's portrayal of Barry was raw, tender, and incredibly moving, earning him a Golden Globe nomination and making Punch Drunk Love a cult classic. Many still say it's the best performance of his career.
TikTok.
Yes. Tell me, is it 1 in 4 marriages that end in divorce now, or 1 in 3?
Renée Zellweger as Bridget Jones. Our number 8 spot goes to a casting that caused an international incident, at least in the tabloids. When it was announced that Renée Zellweger, a Texan, would play the British heroine in Bridget Jones's Diary, the backlash was instant and brutal. British media and fans were furious, with one columnist calling it clunking Hollywood idiocy. How could an American possibly get the nuances of a character so beloved by an entire country? Even her co-star Hugh Grant admitted he thought the casting was a stretch. But Zellweger went all in. She gained 20 pounds, worked tirelessly with a dialect coach, and even went undercover at a London publishing house to prep for the role. She didn't just perfect the accent, she captured the clumsy, lovable, and deeply relatable heart of Bridget Jones. The film was a huge hit, earning around $282 million and turning Zellweger into an Oscar-nominated star who perfectly embodied the character for a generation. She proved that a character's spirit isn't defined by a passport.
You actually go outside in these things?
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Coming in at number 7 is a last-minute replacement who would define a character for almost 2 decades, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. It's almost impossible to imagine anyone else with the claws, but the Australian stage actor, known mostly for musicals, was never the studio's first choice. The role was originally given to Dougray Scott, but when filming on Mission Impossible 2 went over schedule, producers had to scramble for a new Logan. Director Bryan Singer's top pick, Russell Crowe, had already turned it down but suggested his friend Jackman. Even after he got the part, the trouble wasn't over. Studio execs were unimpressed with his first few days of shooting, and Jackman was convinced he was about to get fired. Fans were also wary of the tall, unknown actor playing a character who was famously short and gruff in the comics. But, encouraged by his wife to trust his gut, Jackman dug deep and delivered a star-making performance that balanced animalistic rage with wounded humanity. And from that moment on, Hugh Jackman was Wolverine, a role he would own for 17 years, on his way to becoming a global superstar.
What have we got here? A comedian, private joker. I admire your honesty. Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and my sister.
At number 6 is a wild case where a real-life expert proved he was better than any actor. Ermey in Full Metal Jacket. Originally, Ermey was just hired as a technical advisor for Stanley Kubrick's brutal Vietnam War film. As a former Marine drill instructor, his job was to teach the actor playing Gunnery Sergeant Hartman how to be believable. But during rehearsals, Ermey filmed himself unleashing a non-stop storm of hilariously creative, profanity-laced insults at the extras. The tape was so authentic and intimidating that Kubrick knew he'd found his man. He fired the original actor and gave the part to Ermey, a complete unknown. This was a totally unprecedented move. The result was one of the most terrifying and unforgettable performances in movie history. Ermey's raw intensity gave the boot camp sequence a horrifying realism that could never have been scripted, making Sergeant Hartman a cinematic legend.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
Kicking off our top 5 is the man many mockingly called James Blond, Daniel Craig in Casino Royale. After Pierce Brosnan's suave and polished era, the decision to cast Craig as the next 007 was met with pure fan outrage. He was seen as too short, too blonde, and too rugged. Nothing like the tall, dark, and handsome hero everyone knew. The backlash got so bad that websites like DanielCraigIsNotBond.com popped up, with fans organizing boycotts of the film. The media predicted a franchise-killing disaster, but the producers wanted a grittier, more modern Bond for the 21st century, and Craig was their guy. He delivered in a way no one saw coming. His performance in Casino Royale was visceral, emotionally complex, and physically brutal. The film was a massive critical and commercial hit, raking in over $616 million and completely revitalizing the franchise. Craig's Bond was hailed as one of the best ever, leaving his critics well and truly shaken and stirred.
The city's angry, scarred, like me. Our scars can destroy us.
At number 4, a choice that lit a dumpster fire on the internet. Robert Pattinson in The Batman. For a whole generation of moviegoers, Pattinson was, and always would be, the sparkling vampire Edward Cullen from Twilight. So, when director Matt Reeves announced that the former teen heartthrob would be the next man in the cowl, the internet pretty much exploded. Even though he'd spent years proving his talent in acclaimed indie films, many people just couldn't shake that vampire image. Could the guy from Twilight really pull off the grit and darkness of Gotham's vengeful protector? The doubt lingered right up until the film's release, but Pattinson's performance silenced the naysayers for good. His brooding, tormented, and deeply intense version of a younger Batman was a revelation. The film was a colossal success, earning a massive $772 million worldwide, and proving Pattinson had what it took to redefine the icon for a new generation.
Well, you're the teacher, aren't you?
Yes.
What do you teach?
English.
Our number 3 pick didn't just change a movie, it revolutionized the entire art of acting. Marlon Brando in A Streetcar Named Desire. When director Elia Kazan was casting the 1951 film adaptation of the famous play, he went against the grain. Instead of a polished Hollywood star, he chose a raw, 24-year-old unknown named Marlon Brando to reprise the role he'd made famous on Broadway. This was unheard of at the time. Brando brought a revolutionary, naturalistic method style to the screen that was unlike anything audiences had ever seen. His portrayal of the brutish, magnetic Stanley Kowalski was animalistic and totally electrifying. Even the playwright Tennessee Williams fought for him, believing Brando's youthful danger was vital to the character. Brando's performance became a cultural landmark, turning him into an overnight superstar and influencing an entire generation of actors, from James Dean to Paul Newman. It was a seismic shift that signaled the end of old Hollywood and the beginning of modern screen acting.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Coming in at number 2 is what might be the first great fan backlash of the blockbuster era, Michael Keaton as Batman. Back in 1989, when director Tim Burton announced he'd cast the comedic actor from Beetlejuice to play the caped crusader, fans were absolutely apoplectic. Warner Brothers reportedly received over 50,000 letters of complaint. People just couldn't wrap their heads around it. Keaton wasn't some muscle-bound action star. He was a comedian known for quirky, offbeat roles. Fans argued he wasn't handsome or big enough to be Bruce Wayne, but Burton saw something else, a darkness and intensity lurking behind Keaton's eyes. He He didn't want a square-jawed hero. He wanted someone who could capture the tortured psychology of a man who dresses like a bat. Keaton's performance was a triumph. He brought a haunted, neurotic energy to Bruce Wayne and a quiet menace to Batman that was captivating. The film was a monumental success, grossing over $411 million and launching the modern age of superhero movies. History. From comedians to heartthrobs, these actors defied all expectations and silenced their critics with pure talent. Their legendary performances didn't just save their movies, they changed them forever. So, which unexpected casting choice is? Let us know your picks in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite movies.